Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
If needed anything, we will open. Otherwise, Shri Ram Jai Ram. We thought we may read something from there. Otherwise, we'll take it from Jai Jai Ram.
Can you open? But I will charge it.
Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, Pranam. Before we take up our usual text, we received an email from one of the devotees. While chanting Ram Nam, we know or we are sure that it is He who makes us chant. Every time when we chant, we pray also to the indwelling Ram to show his divine vision. Is that not the awareness? Or what type of awareness we should possess? Already it is too late. We all have passed the evening of our life, and in dusk, please help us to get the light. Hari Om. A very, very important point. Every now and then, though we are on the path, our intellect will keep on bringing such doubts. So, we have to satisfy the intellectual aspect also, but far from that, when we make an attempt, that means when we are on the path, that itself will give us clarity. Awareness cannot be explained in any other way, For example, now you are hearing or you are seeing. You know that you are hearing. You know that you are seeing. You know that you are sitting. You know that you are the beingness. How can it be explained? The knowing principle in us. The intellect may try to interpret, but just be there, the knowing principle. How is it that when I open my eyes, I am able to see? I know that I am seeing. So far we have not applied our mind on these lines, so there may be problems, doesn't matter. Because the inward journey is something which we have not attempted at all these days. We have been concentrating on vocal chanting, and in some cases, Ligita chanting. Beyond that, probably we would not have applied our sadhana seriously. Whereas Papa, and yesterday we saw Mataji asking us to take up this in quest of God, so that we will go within. No? So inward journey is the one which is now given importance by Papa Mataji for our speedy spiritual progress. For our normal life, okay. With all the limitation we have, when we are subjected to go through various types of experiences, our present style of living might be sufficient. But here it is addressed to intense spiritual aspirants who are pining to get this, this blissful state where you feel full inside, where you feel absence of otherness. So for that, this inward journey is a must. Awareness cannot be explained in any other way, because it is the knowing principle that is making us to now utter these words. We know that we are uttering these words, that knowing principle. So Papa in his quotation we have said, when we sit silently, we have to be conscious at the first place that the God we seek is in our own heart, then mentally repeat his name, make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease and it becomes perfectly still. If it does not easily become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self-surrender. We try to develop a witness consciousness, and Papa here explains about witness consciousness. It is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. In fact, this awareness itself is self-realization or God-realisation. So the knowing principle is nothing but the witness consciousness. It cannot be explained further. So we have to keep on trying to go inward with the help of mental chanting of Ram Nam. Papa has, clear cut, there is no ambiguity, there is no tall word, simple words he has used and leading us. We will again read, when we sit silently, we have to be conscious in the first place that the God we seek is in our own heart. Then mentally repeat his name. Make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease. The outgoing tendencies of the mind, and it becomes perfectly still. If it does not easily become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self-surrender. I can't do beyond this. You have to please help me. This sort of, I have exhausted all the resources you have given to me, but no, nothing is working. Please step out and take me in. Something like this. Just like Papa said, what did he say? Where is relief? Where is rest? In this utterly helpless condition full of misery, where is relief? Where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. So similarly, we also say we have exhausted everything. but we don't find, we don't feel that you are there. We don't feel your presence, though you are there. Intellectually, I am 100% convinced that you are there. But experientially, no. This struggle, this struggle, it should not be somebody's prayer. It should be in our own prayer, in our own way, in our own language. That is self-surrender. So we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self-surrender. We try to develop witness consciousness. That is this knowing principle. It is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. In fact, this awareness itself is God-realisation. So there cannot be a direct answer to the question, but only through this inward journey, this most pertinent doubt can be cleared. That means when we are on the process will bring us the outcome. If we are not in the process, however much we try to go through these words and try to churn, it will not help. So all our learning should enable us to put us on the process as best as possible, as early as possible. Huh?
As early as possible, you are too late now. As early as possible, it's too late now.
Nothing is too late, Nothing is too late. Because he is with us, he has been with us.
Yes.
And he will be with us. So the question, there is no question of date or this thing. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, even in a cave where there is no light for 1,000 years, all that we need is to... Matchstick. One matchstick will immediately bring out, when you scratch it, it will bring the light, the darkness will go by itself. So it is not that we have to do for 1,000 years. It is not like that. Because it is already there. It is not, if it is outside one, we are right. It is already there, but we are unable to find out that it is there. So we are struggling through intense prayer. Intense prayer. So mental chanting with intense prayer. Mental chanting will prevent us to go outside, It will arrest all other thoughts. So that we are in the chanting only. And that chanting will definitely help us to develop this witness consciousness. Suppose we miss it again, we can try. We can miss it again, we can try. So if proper mental chanting is trained, it will be easy. Nowadays in the ashram now, at 6:45, some devotees will come there, they will all sit, and 6:45 they will chant vocal chanting. Not in the usual tune, like the mantra. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Like that it will go on for 15 minutes. And at 7 o'clock it will stop. And 7 to 7:15, everybody will be trying to mentally take up the chanting. Because we have to train. So far we have not trained. We go for the chanting session and come back, But here, a conscious effort is made to individually try for mental chanting. And as we keep on doing it with more and more intensity, the technique will be revealed. So that even in between our activities or talk, the mind will be trained to chant his name mentally. So like that, when we train the mental chanting, then the next stage comes. Early morning when we sit alone and try this, suddenly we will become aware of the chanting. Because no other thoughts are there. So what Papa wants us to become aware, that witness consciousness, that knowing principle, that awareness, it will become clearer. It may be for a short time or shortest time, doesn't matter. So now he is taking us and giving us a glimpse of his presence. Then we will again pray to him to give it more and more. And watching our intensity, he will today, one day, he will reveal. So this is the technique he prescribes. Is that clear? It is a highly subjective subject.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. When the spark is there, the glimpse will be there.
So this has to be tried.
Yes.
We have to make an earnest effort to take to this mental chanting.
Yes.
Wherever we are, we will be able to. Because in vocal chanting, we have to look at our surroundings. But whereas, if you are alone, vocal chanting also can be done. But if we are in the midst of so many other people, it may be a disturbance to them. It may dilute our concentration. Okay. So yesterday we were going through Mataji's. Mataji's suggestions are very clear now,
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami. Yes, yes.
What are they? Huh? When did you land? Right from the sky?
Morning, today morning.
Oh, for a long time. Good. Mataji said 3-4 things, Eh?
God which is.
Eh?
She God which is.
And then what, uncle?
What
11
did-
times. He's saying 11 times.
11 times he wanted us to go through in quest of God. Yes, then.
14 and 11 are Swami.
11 times. 14 is that namaskar.
Okay.
Pradakshina.
11 times, 14 times pradakshina.
Eh?
14 times pradakshina.
After reading, but that you cannot do it there, When you are in ashram, that is okay. So you can do pradakshina wherever it is possible. Suppose there is a temple nearby.
Prema, we all did it, Swami, yesterday.
Huh?
In Prema, we all did it.
Prem Nagar, they all did it. It's already 14 times pradakshina.
Those who are in Prem Nagar, we are talking about those who are hearing, from different places. So wherever it is possible, there will be a temple or some place where you can mentally, feel that you are in before Samadhi Mandir of Papa, and then you are taking after reading, mind you again, after reading. So before reading,
Keep the book in front of Papa's photo.
how can you come straight away to the after reading? Before reading?
Before reading, keep the book in front of Papa's photo and pray. Start praying. And realize Papa as the Prapancham and the truth.
Realize Papa as a prapancham and the truth.
Who is he?
And truth.
Yeah. Truth.
Eh?
Prapancham and the truth.
Really, Papa is the prapancham.
Papa is the word.
No, you are right. So the devotees who had enlisted themselves for the reading and pradakshina to praise their copies of Inquest of God and the Samadhi of Beloved Papa. There you can say, the Paduga, whatever, of Beloved Papa, and pray to him to bless their efforts in this direction and to grant them realization, and only then to start their reading. And the concerned devotee should do 14 rounds of the Homa Mandir from the outside after completing each day's reading. Then, why this 11?
To understand the Nirguna Nirakara Swami.
Means what?
Impersonal aspect of Papa,
Means what?
that which is existing, the truth, the life force, the
connected to the Nirguna of the form. Get connected to God.
Get connected to the truth.
Get connected to the Nirguna Tattva.
Mataji's own words we are repeating now. No, you are right, but we are try to understand Mataji's words. You can pray to him to grant you Papa's universal vision, number one. There is a special reason for Papa making me ask you to read Inquest of God daily for 11 days. It is intended to take you within. So how to do that? So when we go to the first article, when he defines about Ram, the subtle and mysterious power, it is only a word. Only by going within, we will be able to catch something, We will be able to understand something of what those two words stand for. So that is why Puja Mataji said that 11 days it is intended to take you within. You may not attain Papa within you on the 11th reading, but you will at least have started going within. This should be very, very clear to us. So far we have not applied our mind on those lines. So 11 times reading should help us. If it is not helping us, we should know we have erred. We have to improve our approach to Inquest of God. Not merely reading, but trying to dwell on it. We will again read, it's a beautiful word. You can pray to him to grant you Papa's universal vision, number one. There is a special reason for Papa making me ask you to read Inquest of God daily for 11 days. It is intended to take you within. You may not attain Papa within you on the 11th reading, but you will at least have started going within. It is like entering the ashram gates. Once you are within the gates, you have nothing to fear. Likewise, once you turn your gaze within, you have nothing to worry. In order to show that, he also, in the 9th chapter we found, God made him to choose solitude for nearly a month in a cave in Tiruvannamalai. Some clue he gives as to what exactly is this inward journey. It is not closing the eyes and sitting. It is also closing the eyes and sitting. but nothing with force. He was relaxing, he was conversing, he was talking freely, he was leading a simple life, and always trying the universal vision. No, he was always praying for that universal vision. So going within alone can give us the universal vision, about which he touches in the 9th chapter. So this is how the Mataji expects all of us to progress on the spiritual path with the help of Ramnam, with the help of In Quest of God. And then, is there anything else that Mataji said?
We are working also dwelling in the theme and repeating Ramnam. Dwelling on the theme and
No
repeating
bondage.
Ramnam.
Eh?
When we are working, that
No
time also we
bondage.
are dwell in the theme.
Our spiritual vows and all, no bondage.
Like what?
Whatever disciplines we undertake, we should not find us.
That you will know, which are the one which is trying to distract you, that you will try. God will prompt you to enforce. No? No, he can sit here. He can sit here. It is not the hard and fast rule, somebody has dictated to us. You will, as we keep on attempting to go on the lines prescribed by Mataji, it will be made known to us what is to be done and what is not to be done. Because we will become aware of the roadblocks. Certainly some disciplines are necessary, not as a bondage. If Papa was living,
Hanging on to the external form is a hindrance to spiritual process.
whatever, okay, those are all words. Let us be on the process, and let the process give us the direction. Nirguna Tattva means, as you said, not hanging on any external prop. But whether it is okay for us, only that person, that individual will know. Probably in certain cases, initially we may have to bring that form also, to go beyond the formless. To go beyond the form. Initially. In Papa's case, it was through Lord Krishna's form. Then he prayed at the feet of God. He has explained beautifully that then he said, no, I don't want this. I want that which is always stays with me. This coming and going will not help much. So if that is what we also get, that inner prompting, we can pray. No instruction from outside is applicable. All clues have been given by Papa Mataji to us. When we are on the process, we will know how to move forward. But this is a must to go within. Because she herself says, realizing him within is not so easy. When you have not given up your external attachments, when you still cling to the sense of I and mine, how can you give up your internal attachments and have hankerings? So nicely Mataji puts it. So some preparation is necessary. That will come when we take up, when we are on the process, when we are intense, it will come one by one. Not that we have to first learn this and try to impose on us so many things. which will give us a sense of bondage. Let it come. Just like, when we were children, we were playing with toys. When we grew up, we did not renounce it, It dropped off by itself. The growing process enabled us, even not knowing, how did we drop. Similarly, when we, with all intentions, with all good intentions and intensity, when we are on the path, when we put ourselves on the process, we will be dropping out what is the roadblock. It will be a natural graduation. It will not be an imposed discipline. That is what we learn from all the biographies of the Mahatmas who have scaled the heights. Automatic. Because the more you love it, the more will be, the less will be the distraction. Even in ordinary worldly matters, when we are intently on a particular project, all other things we will not. It is not that we are renouncing. It does not get prioritized in our mind. You and I have done it, when we were in the professional career. When our boss wants us to do something, we put our heart and soul into it. And so many things, we at that moment, we don't take cognizance of. To us, only that project, the target, that to be attained. Nothing else. So we all have that idea. So don't think that we have to do this first, we have to do this, that. No. For example, when Papa went to Tiruvannamalai, that cave, suddenly he would have thought, okay, just for sustenance, he will go for Bhiksha, get some rice, and in the bowl, he will put, when it is half, he will come back, there is a flowing water, fill it up, then with so many shrubs and everything, he lights it and then boils it, and that plain rice he eats once a day. He did not say that it should be done like this. It came by itself, There should be some sustenance, some sustaining power. So some food should go inside, that's all. Only to keep contact, the body should be there. Body should sustain on something. Not that he was taking it as a food. So similarly, when we are intently on this, we will not automatically get prioritized on those we have to concentrate, and which are resulting in denying so many things for us voluntarily. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Swamiji, can you please explain what is transcendental truth?
Transcendental truth. Can you please explain?
It is not, when you say you have to transcend, normally we may get an idea that this is unreal and we want to experience the real. In one way, the interpretation is right. But Papa's interpretation is both are real. The only thing is, he will bluntly say, the world as world is unreal. The world as God is real. It is not that the world is away. But when we are treating it as a separate object, separate person, separate situation, separate characteristics, then it is unreal. But if we think that the same power which makes me feel I am is the same power that is there in everything, that everything is valid. No, it is not the transcending that, the truth behind this. Both are valid. That is why he used the word prapancha there. You remember? Somewhere he meant prapancha. So that we are one with the prapancha, yes. We have to realize Papa as the word prapancha and as the truth, which means as everything and beyond everything. So then he used the word transcendental. So let us not get stuck with it on the technical side. No? We will understand it in a plain way. Prapancha, the whole thing, and the truth. Not merely the prapancha. God is there in the form of prapancha and the truth. And what is there? Not merely the form, the truth behind the form.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So those who are not in ashram, they need not worry about these 14 rounds. Or when you are in the midst of so many activities, it may not be possible to complete it in 11 days. You have to attend to your household, attend to your professional and also to social involvement. So you try to bring out in your own way. What is important is we are going through it with the idea of going in, with the idea of understanding the impersonal aspect. Personal aspect we have some idea. Impersonal aspect we don't have any idea. Probably in order to make us know, she specifically said why she said 11 instead of 9. We did not know the significance of 9 or 11. But she herself defined it that 11 stands for the impersonal. That's why she said in everything, beyond everything. Everything and beyond everything. Let us make a start. No? Simple thing is, we make a start. We would have read before, but with this perspective, we will take it up. Right from the first article, not from the first chapter. And then stop. We will try to go within to understand what exactly it means to me. Because the first article itself is full of such points. Birthless and deathless. Immediately we say, we only know about birth and death, That which is born is dying, that we know, including the so-called sense of individuality. So to think about birthless and deathless, some churning is necessary. Going within is necessary. To strive to approach and understand Ram is to recede from the world of vanishing forms, because Ram is the only truth, the only reality. Ram is a subtle and mysterious power that pervades and sustains the whole universe. Birthless and deathless is He. He is present in all things and in all creatures who only appear as separate entities due to their ever-changing forms. To wake up from this illusion of forms is to realize at once the unity or love of Ram. Love of Ram means love of all beings, all creatures, all things in this world. Because Ram is in all is in Ram, and Ram is all in all. These are all words, Unless we take within, we will not be able to capture the theme behind it. He expressed it not with any textual background. He revealed it from his own experience. So he himself has given us the clue that unless you merely churning the words of Ramdas will not help you, unless it is with the perfected experience of yours, you will not be able to understand. Clearly he says. So we read this, we stop, we go back, and then pray to him to guide us. What does it mean by birthless and deathless? In fact, that is why Mataji wanted us to pray, including the praying, O beginningless and
endless.
O beginningless and endless Param Puja Papa, you are all pervading, no? So what is this beginningless and endless? If we just read, we can repeat. But but one word, Adiyantarahida. Adiyantarahida Param Puja Papa. So what is that Adi and Antarahida? That itself will take long, to understand that. We are trying to put it in the words, and understand. No. So the first article itself will take us many days.
ஆதியும் அந்தமும் இல்லா அரும்பெரும் ஜோதி.
அப்படி சொல்லலாம். என்ன வாயிருக்கு வந்து ஆதியை வந்தோம். நம்ம whatever we have seen. But now we will slowly try to understand. Like when we get a seed before us, the seed, when it is sown in a conducive atmosphere, it sprouts. How does it sprout? So there is a power behind it, a creative power encased in a small seed. Tomorrow it is going to become a gigantic tree. And where from this seed came? It has come from a tree. And where from the tree came? It has come from the seed. Like that, there is a beginningless and endless. Like that, we will try to understand what is the beginningless and endless. Any simile, when we try to go deeply, you will see the guidance coming from within to understand it in our own language. So let us all take it up with all earnestness on the lines Mataji suggested. She will be very happy to hear. So at least she will be feeling now. On my 119th Jayanti, people have taken it up seriously. Anything else? Shall we go to Tirupati or stop here?
Swamiji, love for the name, Mataji told me.
Love for the name.
Love for the name of whom?
God's name.
That subtle and mysterious power. So when we develop love, we have to develop love somehow. Otherwise, our mind will go here and there. Where our love is, there our mind is. Somebody, one of the devotees, who were motivated by Mataji, Mataji was taking up. Mataji has been evincing keen interest in the progress made by the volunteer devotees in reading In Quest of God. While reading, do you give full attention to what you have read, or do you just skip through? Then the devotee said, no, Mataji, I find as days go by that I take more and more time. Papa's language in Quest of God is so sweet that at places I feel like lingering over the lines, tasting it again and again like a sweet. Beautiful. Tasting it again and again like a sweet. That means reading it again and again and again. Now we saw, within. When Mataji said within, to go that, we just don't read within and then pass on to the next sentence. Wait. How to go within? That question will come again. I fail to understand. Again I go. I try to. Again I fail. 2-3 times I fail. But at one time, God is testing us, our intensity, that's all. He will open up. So love for Ram means that is the concentrated, the decoction, concentrated form of moving towards him. Even in ashram, we are all doing it. For example, suppose we ask you to come at a particular time, immediately they say, no, I have got a Guru Stuti. Love for Guru Stuti is there, That is why you are prioritizing it. Can you come at 8 o'clock? No, that is I have to go to the Samadhi Mandir. Okay, so there you are prioritizing it. You are not diluting it. So love comes out in these forms. And again we have to see whether the love for Nam has really developed. Papa has taken us to some extent, probably not to the fullest extent. Yes, then why waste time, Mataji said. Should start their reading. Why waste time? So the first article, struggle in the initiation, renunciation, then next one, adoption of sannyas, then Srirangam, then Madurai, then Rameshwaram, Madurai, and then Tiruppappulur, then in the cave. Technically we have covered, but with this perspective have we cleared? We have to understand. Because then we have to go to Tirupati. There he shows, again. We keep on attempting it, leave the result to him. 700 steps he walked. And when he reached there, it was biting cold. Nobody was allowed to go inside. So they were exposed So next day early morning, they left for Papanasini and then returned back. So here, because he was not upset, he did not have the darshan, some lesson. Tomorrow let us see what lesson he gives us. We have to do some churning. What does it mean? He went to Rameshwaram, he went to Madurai temple. At the same time, he went also to Tirupati, and there his reaction was different. He was not at all upset. He has not made any mention about it. So we can take it that ours is to be on the process and leave it. This side, this side, this side. We will take it up. We just give some idea, that's all. Tirupati. We will intensely apply, you know. So first, we will also try to bring to our mind the words of Puja Mataji as often as possible about the in-depth study of In Quest of God.
Amiji,
Ah.
if reading 11 times once is not sufficient, we need to continue.
Technically, one is enough. One nama is enough. But are we chanting only one nama? Think. We are chanting for hours together. In Vishnu Sahasranama, we are repeating 1000 times. In Lalita Sahasranama, we are repeating like that, 1000 times. Why? Because our mind is so tricky. When we have so many times, at one particular time the light may not reveal to us. So when we are exclusively on that, one time reading is okay. Exclusively. Just like what Papa did. That is not possible for any of us. Blunt the truth. So we have to read as many times as possible. Though in reality, one reading should be enough. Technically, that is okay. Practically, it is not okay. Because we are trying to understand every time the mind, gets more and more refined when we try to read once, twice, thrice, four times, 5 times. And by the time we reach 11, so many clarity would have come. And when we attend Ramnam, we can see it has its own positive impact on the mindset. That is why so much of importance is given for In Quest of God. Because that gives the sum and total of Papa's entire philosophy, his life, his mission, everything. When he says universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity, entire thing is answered in Quest of God. So, many of us are reading not 11 times. Even in this year, how many times we have read? No? Even today we are finding new, because he is not revealing to us in one go. So it is better to stick on to. Mataji introduced this mala, Actually, mala is not necessary. Counting is not necessary. Papa was very much against counting. But Mataji was practical. If nothing is given, no quota is given, I will not do at all. 2 days I will do. Third day, I will do it tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Mataji knew our weakness. That is why she said 15,500 crore Namajapa Yajna for Vishwashanti. And she beautifully put one more word. After the completion of 15,500, you have to continue till the world is at peace. That means what? We have to always chant. So there is technically a target.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. That is why when somebody asks, when we have the count in our mind, we don't think about it. I said, we used to suggest then, for Mataji's Adesh, we will have count, this much. And after that, you need not count. You try to dwell on it, so that we are balancing it. Mataji is putting us on that line, and then we try to progress. If that quota is not there, we will not. For the first few days, we will do without. Then some problem will come, some preoccupation will come. Then we will slowly, tomorrow I will do it. But tomorrow will never come. Tomorrow another problem will come. But suppose you say, I will do 1 mala a day. I will do 2 malas a day. Just like we do the brushing the teeth or washing, taking our bath or taking our meal. It will become a part of our life. So like that, 11 times is not something, it is like the japa count. If we don't have this, we will not reach anywhere. Even to read 11 times, that is good discipline, no? You have to find provision for 3-4 hours to sit and read. That reading may not give us the full, or it will not take us nearer. That's okay. But even this reading, it requires some tapasya. Here in this, we used to sit, you remember? Early morning we will come. This hall was not there at that time. It will be full. Morning we will start, 4 hours it will take. So even to do that, some self-denial, some withdrawal from the other thing, everything is there. Somewhere or the mind also will hear. But like this in-depth study, we have not done it. One more thing, Mataji said, even while we are busy at work, people who are not in the ashram, still we will find that Ramnam slowly creeping in. Because after all, in quest of God, how many times? Ram?
396.
400. I did not ask for the account. 400 times the word expression Ram comes, in these 37 chapters, 400 times. That means each chapter, we can say 10 minimum. So when we repeat that, automatically this Nama chanting unknowingly will come to us when we are doing our work. That's what Mataji said. Even when you are engaged, when you are not engaged in reading in quest of God, again Mataji's words, and you are busy at other work, did your mind not dwell on what you had read in quest of God? You will also find, as you go on reading in quest of God, that you are not only dwelling on its contents while doing any work with your hands, but Ram Nam also will be on your lips. Provided we knowingly, attentively read. These are some of the clues to find out how many times he has been made mention about meditation, how many times Ram, how many times O Ram. Ram also may come, but O Ram means he is addressing. How many times he is talking. These are some of the ways by which, when we take up the research, these are the ways by which we are tutoring our mind to dwell on Ram, 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 Ram. We have to devise various means to place our mind on that. Because the mind is so tricky. That we have covered yesterday. The mind will say, that we have covered yesterday. Whether we have covered it yesterday or not, we have to repeat now. Even for the past so many days, we are repeating the same if we go through the entire teaching. Because he will not allow us to go further unless this is totally assimilated. So this could be the tangible gain. When you are not engaged in reading In Quest of God and you are busy at other work, naturally you will be busy with so many other things. Did your mind not dwell on what you had read in Quest of God? You will also find, as you go on reading In Quest of God, that you are not only dwelling on its contents while doing any work with your hand, but Ram Nam also will always be on your lips. Whatever work you are doing in this state will be considered by you as his service. Thus, once you have dedicated yourself to him in all the three ways, Dhyan, Smaran and Seva, it will not take you long to enter into Nirguna Brahman. So that means we will take up this Tirupati only tomorrow. So let us all try to assimilate as much as we can. Whatever Mataji had said repeatedly, we have been reading, trying to go within. Because she wanted us to go within. She wanted us to have the proper concept like Papa. What is Papa? Prapancha and the truth. That is the impersonal aspect. And the personal aspect of this Prapancha. Attentively we have to read. And whether we are reading it again and again by ourselves, that means, we have started tasting the sweetness. Not because somebody said we are reading, then we will not. Nowadays, that is why when somebody comes here for initiation, we try to explain what Papa has said in that conversation. Again, we repeat. Before hearing Papa's words, we will request them to read, or we will read, or we will explain, so that at the time of hearing the recorded message, because that is just hearing and going, the mind will not dwell on it. So by the time when they go here, the mind must have already got some clue, and then the initiation takes place. Otherwise, it cannot be called initiation. It is only hearing the tape and you are repeating the word, that's all. Real initiation is going inward, inside. The Nama goes inside. So for that, Papa's words will be instrumental. So it is not merely hearing, not merely reading. Applying our mind intently. Knowingly we read. The theme should get stamped in our heart. So with their blessings, we will take it up earnestly, and we can be rest assured that they will guide us from within. Not merely, but we have to do our part, that's all. Rest of the things will be done by them. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om